There are burdens we carry, not on our backs, but in the quiet chambers of our hearts. Burdens of unappreciated effort, ungrateful relationships, and hopes that refuse to bloom. But what if the path to true freedom, to profound inner peace, lies not in confronting these burdens, but in the silent, powerful act of letting them go? What if true strength isn't about holding on, but about knowing when to release? This is a story about that liberation, about finding the courage to choose yourself, to embrace what I call silent forgiveness, and to reclaim the invaluable treasure of self-respect. It's a lesson learned through the lives of a few unlikely teachers, each discovering that some doors are meant to close, some paths are meant to diverge, and some silent goodbyes are the kindest acts of all. Consider Clarence, the magnificent rooster of Farmer McGregor's land. Clarence was the farm's alarm clock, his crow a vibrant announcement of each new dawn. He was diligent, punctual, and his booming call ensured the entire farm stirred to life. Yet, Farmer McGregor, a man often blinded by routine, rarely offered a kind word, let alone a grain of appreciation. He saw Clarence not as a vital contributor, but merely as a noisy fixture. The other animals, observing this constant neglect, often wondered why Clarence didn't simply give up. But Clarence, though proud, held on to hope that his worth would eventually be recognized. One crisp autumn morning, a profound realization dawned on Clarence with the rising sun he had so faithfully heralded. His efforts, however consistent, were met only with indifference. His self-respect, a quiet dignity he carried within, could no longer tolerate being overlooked. With a final, resolute peck at the ground, Clarence made a silent decision. He didn't crow that day. He simply walked away from the farm, leaving behind the familiar fields and the unseeing eyes of Farmer McGregor. The next morning, chaos reigned. No crow stirred the farm. The sun rose, but the animals slept late. The chores were delayed, and a vital rhythm was broken. That very night, under the cloak of darkness, the farm was robbed. Without Clarence's vigilant crow, which often deterred nocturnal mischief, the farm was vulnerable. Farmer McGregor, surveying the damage, finally understood the value of Clarence. The rooster he had taken for granted was only recognized after his absence became a gaping wound. Clarence, by choosing himself, taught everyone a powerful truth. Sometimes, the true measure of your worth is only understood when you are no longer there to give it freely. His departure wasn't an act of revenge, but a reclaiming of his own dignity, a silent forgiveness of the farm's oversight, allowing him to move on to a place where his efforts would be seen. Then there was Shelley, the wise old turtle. Shelley had a heart as vast as the pond she lived in, and often she would carry her smaller, less fortunate friends across difficult stretches of land. Among them was a little frog named Finn, who, despite Shelley's immense effort, never offered a word of thanks. Finn would hop off her back at the destination, often complaining that Shelley hadn't been fast enough, or that the journey had been too bumpy. Shelley, out of a misguided sense of loyalty and a fear of being unkind, continued to carry Finn, feeling increasingly exhausted and unappreciated. One day, as she struggled up a particularly steep bank with Finn on a shell, a sharp pain shot through her old joints. Finn, oblivious, merely grumbled about the incline. In that moment of physical and emotional strain, Shelley had an epiphany. She wasn't just carrying Finn. She was carrying the weight of his ingratitude, his constant negativity, and her own unaddressed need for respect. Slowly, deliberately, she lowered herself, allowing Finn to slide gently onto the grass. "Finn," she said, her voice calm but firm, "my back is tired. You must find your own way now." Finn was indignant, but Shelley remained resolute. She forgave herself for carrying a burden that wasn't hers, for allowing her kindness to be exploited. She learned that true compassion includes compassion for oneself, and that choosing who and what you carry is a fundamental act of self-preservation. Her silent forgiveness of Finn wasn't about forgetting his behavior, but about freeing herself from the obligation to endure it. And finally, consider Jasper, the sleek, hopeful cat. Jasper spent countless hours sitting patiently by a certain door, a door that led to a delightful garden he believed held endless adventures and delicious treats. Every morning, every evening, he would sit, tail twitching with anticipation, waiting for the door to open. He'd meow softly, then loudly, then simply wait. His gaze fixed on the handle. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The door never opened. It was simply a back door that had been sealed shut years ago, leading nowhere. Yet, Jasper, fueled by the potent mixture of hope and habit, continued his vigil. His fellow cats would pass by, sometimes pitying him, sometimes scoffing. "Why do you waste your time, Jasper?" they'd ask. "That door will never open." But Jasper clung to the possibility, to the dream of what asterisk might asterisk be behind it, even as his life, his precious moments, slipped away. One blustery afternoon, a sudden gust of wind rattled the old door. Jasper flinched, then looked around at the vibrant world he was missing. The chase of butterflies, the warmth of a sunbeam in the open meadow, the camaraderie of other cats. He saw the futility of his unrequited hope. With a deep breath, he turned away from the door for good. He didn't look back. He didn't curse the door or the garden it supposedly hid. He simply walked away, choosing to invest his precious life in tangible joys and open possibilities. His act was a silent forgiveness of the door for never opening, and more importantly, a forgiveness of himself for waiting so long. He moved forward, lighter, wiser, and ready to embrace the world as it was, not as he desperately wished it to be. These stories, seemingly simple, hold profound truths about silent forgiveness. It is not about condoning hurtful actions, nor is it about forgetting the lessons learned. It is certainly not about returning to a toxic situation or reopening a closed door. Instead, silent forgiveness is a deeply personal act of self-liberation. It is the conscious decision to release the bitterness, the resentment, the unfulfilled longing that binds you to what no longer serves your highest good. It is the understanding that your peace, your self-respect, and your precious time are not commodities to be squandered on unappreciated efforts, ungrateful relationships, or unrequited hopes. It is about acknowledging the pain, absorbing the lesson, and then, with quiet dignity, choosing to walk away. To forgive silently is to grant yourself permission to heal, to grow, and to reclaim your inner strength. It is to know with unwavering certainty when to let go, when to stop carrying burdens that aren't yours, and when to turn your back on doors that will never open. This is the path to true freedom. A journey fueled by self-respect and paved with the quiet power of letting go.